desks. Things you put things on, such as in a music studio like this. Now, once or twice a month, someone will ask me, what desk should I get? What desks do I use? And I have an insight for you. Because this desk, good. This desk, bad. And it's unless you've experienced or deep dived into it, you wouldn't know why. Both of the desks came from IKEA, but that's not important. What is important is what they're constructed of. So this one is constructed badly, or not. I screwed it together well. Don't be not trusting my screwing skills. I've screwed it together very well, and the legs are wrong. But it's this bit, and the surface. That's that. I'm looking for the word surface. So the top bit. I suppose the legs as well, actually, a little bit. Actually, I have two insights for you. Close up, using an additional camera in editing. Crikey, wow. So this one, the bad one, is actually called a veneer, or the construction type's called a veneer. Classic IKEA. It's constructed from cardboard, wrapped in this cheap sort of cover thing, veneer. So it looks like wood, and it certainly looks great in the store, but in fact, it's actually really bad because it's really not very strong. Because if you think about it, cardboard covered in just a really thin veneer, like a sheet of wood. The veneer may be made of wood. I don't know. It's possibly. But anyway, that thin. You might be able to even hear this. Lightweight as well, which is probably good if you're carrying it to the car, but not important in the studio. So the veneer is bad. It's cardboard. Our picture off the internet. So this is a veneer construction, basically cardboard wrapped in this really thin and really useless material. And the result of which is it basically breaks. Unlike real wood, this one over here is made of actual wood. So I think definitely wood. Although actually that's kind of a veneer too, but it's still better. It's a proper wood with the veneer, but importantly the inside bit is actually wood. Now it's not plywood, as the side would lead you to believe if you're into wood. Wood. Are you into wood? I would get into wood. Wood is good. Wood. So that looks like plywood. Plywood has the lines made of different plies. Stop rambling, multiplier. Right. So what you don't want is cardboard covered in a veneer because it bends. See, bend. It's bent already. It's broken. It's dipped, it's bowed because it's useless. Cardboard covered in a veneer. Looks like wood, but it's not. This one is much more proper wood. It's still not the best in the world necessarily, but it still hasn't broken. So I suppose that's good enough. You only really need a desk that's good enough. I've had this one I had it 4 or 5 years before I even started producing. So that's probably 15, maybe even 16 years old. 15 years old now. So I've had that 14. I've lost track of time. How old am I? How old is the universe? I don't know. So basically, I've had that some amount of time. I'm drilling outside. Maniac. We'll ignore that. So I have had that I've been producing 7 or 8 years now. Lost track again. But I had that for 4 or 5 years before that. So do the maths, and it's probably 13 or so years old. And it's still, it's seen better days, but it's perfectly, the legs are on straight, and it hasn't bowed in the middle because it's basically made out of actual wood. Whereas this one, heavy, you can pick it up if you're very heavy, not heavy at all, super light. I could pick that up with one hand and throw it. Whereas I couldn't do it with that one. So the useless one, cardboard covered in wood equals bad. As when you press your buttons, I don't smash this to pieces. Pressing buttons, doing the music. Maybe there's a keyboard there. Maybe there's something that makes it bend. And this is only 3 years old. 3 years old, maybe 4. It's much younger than this guy. Old, like an old tree. Bad. Can you see how much that is bowed? I mean, I don't even use that. I've literally never used that as my primary desk. It was always a secondary desk. So the fact it's bowed after, to be honest, minimal use is pretty stupid. In fact, really stupid. I would stupid desk. Don't get that one. Useless. But it would probably break. If I sat on it, it would probably snap in half. Which isn't good, so don't do that. Inside two is the legs. Now you may be able to see from either this camera angle or you can probably second camera. So you can probably see the legs on this one are long legs, like a giraffe. Not like a giraffe, just like they look like this, where it's flat. They've got long flats. The legs in the technical wood making school, they call these legs long, flappy side legs, like that. Like that. See how it's a panel legs. It's the whole side is a leg. So the whole side is a leg, and on this one, and whereas these legs are just down. So it's very. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but imagine me shaking them or moving the desk from side to side like this. It all moves about, and it's just not very sturdy. It wobbles about, which is useless, and it's just going to break. So that's bad. So try and get good legs, and also if you have a back bit, you probably won't be able to. Well, you can't see from this angle, but with this angle, additionally, you can see the back bit. I'm crouching down now to look at it myself. Has a bit going across it, so it's not just the whole side is a leg vibe. There's also an additional thing running along the back, and that gives it much more rigidity too. Sort of tight, it stops it falling over side to side. Imagine if it didn't have that back thing going from one side panel leg thing to the other, then if you tipped it like this way, left to right, then it would, forward and backwards would be fine. Without the back bit, you can go forwards and backwards. I'm not going to do the motion. You could go forwards and backwards all day long, and it'd be fine. But you go side to side, and it'll fall down. So that's what that bit's for. Sturdy, rigid. I've stood on that desk many times. 3 over its lifetime. Normally unscrewing light bulbs, although not in this room, obviously. I can just reach it. But in my old room, I used it to stand on. Maybe I was smaller. I was probably smaller. I was going to say I can just normally reach light bulbs. But yeah, must have been for light bulbs. I distinctly recall standing on that desk 3 times, probably, and it was probably for light bulb. So whereas if I stood on that, it would fall apart and break, and that would be bad. So there you go. Insights, about 2 insights. Do I have a third insight? Thinking on the spot. Big, get a big one, bigger than you think you need, because you'd be surprised how quickly when you put stuff on it, the space gets taken up. So get the biggest one you can. That's what she said. Did she? I don't know. Does that work? And think about it. Think additional point, not really about desk choice, but just about studio setup. Really think about what you put on your desk. Don't have things that don't need to be there, and try and make it organized. You want to be creative. You want to be focused. You want to be creative and focused. So have things you need there, have it all plugged in, ready to go. But at the same time, don't have things you don't need. So if I had, it's a stupid example, lens cap. Maybe I was looking at, this is the GoPro lens cap, the lens cap for you. What would be a stupid thing to do would be to have this just there. To be in that's not helping anything. That's just that's in my zone. Get out my zone. That's on the floor now. It's not in the right. Everything in its right place. My name has been Multiplier, and I'll catch you guys on the flippity flip. This video is sponsored by me, my website. As you can see here, I have a whole range of things available, from serum presets through to serum tools, samples, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Do check it out, link below, multipliermusic.com, and/or subscribe. Thanks for watching.